So Trump has just appointed the Saudi hijackers from 9/11 to run the FAA.
What the hell did you just say?
I mean, that's insane, but in reality, not that far from what's actually happening. And the latest Trump appointment might be a true reflection of how off the rails senior cockwaffle has taken us. Look, Trump's appointments are both unwise and indiscriminate, but more to the point, they're loyal little sycophants who threaten the fabric of government as we know it. Take Linda McMahon, who's trying to shut down the Department of Education, of which she's in charge, or RFK Jr., the head of Health and Human Services, and a former heroin addict and vaccine denier who is ending access to the COVID vaccine that saved millions of lives while admitting that a worm ate his brain and died inside his head.
In his brain, that had eaten part of his brain and then died there. I mean, you laugh, but I mean...
He's trying to destroy the CDC, NIH, and our work with the World Health Organization. And this freak, he's supposed to head up the FBI and protect us from terrorists and organized crime. Instead, he's attacking the media for doing their job.
I'd shut down the FBI Hoover building on day one and reopening the next day as a museum of the deep state.
We're going to come after the people in the media who lied about American citizens, who helped Joe Biden rig presidential elections.
And of course, Six-Pack Pete, in charge of our national defense, who, when he's not drunk texting Houthis that they're about to be bombed, is locking up and assaulting women against their will. And of course, Tulsi Gabbard, Putin's BFF.
The U.S. and the CIA should stop this illegal and counterproductive war to overthrow the Syrian government of Assad.
What do you think about those who support the opposition, and mainly the terrorist organizations, only in order to oust Assad?
I have not seen that independent investigation occur and that proof presented.
So the latest appointment fits right in. Trump just nominated Paul Ingrassia to run the Office of Special Counsel. Who is that? Well, he's been a lawyer for 10 months. 10 months. And now he'll be running the Office of Special Counsel, which is an independent ethics watchdog empowered to protect federal employees and whistleblowers. That's like putting Dairy Queen in charge of NASA.
I'm very excited about that.
This guy isn't qualified to lick the sweat off Hunter Biden's nuts, much less be an independent watchdog looking for those whistleblowers calling out Trump's grift and traitorous behavior.
Disgusting.
Why? Ingrassia is a former far-right podcast host and election denier who once shared an article calling for martial law to keep Fat Donnie in office following his loss in the 2020 election. Oh yeah, and he's 30.
Far-right commentator Paul Ingrassia to head the agency tasked with rooting out corruption and protecting whistleblowers in the federal government. Ingrassia, a self-described climate change skeptic, drew media attention in 2013 when a former Reuters reporter accused him of suppressing the news organization's coverage on the topic. One study showed that Reuters' coverage of climate change fell by nearly 50% in the year after Ingrassia was hired. Perfect man for suppressing any bad Trump news then.
I got more coming right up, but first, if you're nearing 65, or your folks are, this is real important. Listen up. I've been going through this task, finding how Medicare works for my wife and I, and it's like driving at night with no lights. Confusing by design, with fine print, pushing plans that may not even fit your needs. And I thought I was pretty smart, but I needed help. So listen to this, please. On their own, people regularly end up on the wrong plan, costing them thousands more each year, and sometimes even putting access to their doctors or medications at risk at a time in their lives when it's really important. And believe me, as I just said, I went through this. Fortunately, though, I discovered Chapter, and I want to tell you all about it. Chapter is the only national Medicare advisor that compares every available plan, so you can be sure you're seeing all your options, not just a select few. And this is so important. Chapter is completely independent and always advocating for you and not the insurance companies. The process is quick and simple and easy, and most people get answers and they're enrolled in the right plan in under an hour. So when you call, you'll talk to an honest, patient, and unbiased advisor who's going to walk you through everything step by step. The call's free. There's no pressure to sign up. If you're already on the right plan, Chapter's going to tell you that. It's simple. Call Chapter right now. Here's a number on the screen, 816-953-0071. That's 816-953-0071. One less thing to worry about, right? All right, when it comes to Trump's appointments, it's not just me freaking out. Conservatives who thought Trump would be the crazy 2016 version are recoiling as Mantidis has turned the executive branch into a collection of the least qualified ever assembled in one place. And in the process, has the entire world looking at the U.S. like a turd in the punch bowl. And it keeps getting worse. Ingrassia has links to reptilian skin tags like sex trafficker Andrew Tate, facing rape and sex trafficking charges in Europe. And in 2023, Ingrassia worked on Tate's legal team. Tate is also being investigated by Florida's Attorney General, and the Anti-Defamation League wrote that Tate has leaned heavily into unabashedly anti-Semitic rhetoric, perpetuating Holocaust revisionism, spreading conspiracy theories about Israel, praising Hamas, performing Nazi salutes, and encouraging people to embrace and openly engage in racism. But other than that, a swell guy. And he's going to protect whistleblowers in Trump's government? That's like asking Kanye to protect a synagogue.
I'd like to welcome the fake news.
And then there's this. Trump's newest appointment is pals with avowed neo-Nazi Nick Fuentes, who has said some pretty horrible shit about blacks, Jews, and J.D. Vance's wife.
Send the military into these black neighborhoods, make the streets safe, they'll complain about it. It doesn't matter.
We should send in the troops if necessary to restore order.
Enough with the Jim Crow stuff. Who cares? Oh, to drink out of a different water fountain. Big fucking deal.
J.D. Vance also has a non-white wife, an Indian wife, and a kid named Vivek. All his kids have Indian names. So it's like, what exactly are we getting here? And that's not a dig at him just because I'm a racist or something. But it's like, who is this guy really? Do we really expect that the guy who has an Indian wife and named their kid Vivek is going to support white identity?
And white people are done being bullied.
Discriminating against and denigrating, just denigrating white people.
Back in June of 2024, Ingrassia was at a rally in Detroit led by Fuentes, who's also a Holocaust denier, and has called for the execution of non-Christians. Fuentes has said repeatedly, I don't know about you, but calling Donald Trump a racist only makes me like him more. But Ingrassia's own effed up rhetoric is noteworthy, as this pimply incel said on his 2020 podcast Twitter account that it's time for real Donald Trump to declare martial law and secure his re-election. Now, this appointment for this pimply little incel will require Senate confirmation, which will undoubtedly expose how deep these old white guys' heads are up Donnie's ass. But the first look seems to say that Trump may have gone too far. Conservative pundit A.G. Hamilton called the move insane and indefensible. This guy is a complete lunatic who has openly supported everyone from the Tate brothers to Nick Fuentes. Does anyone do any vetting in this administration?
Trust me.
Here's how Trump vets people. Are you weak, dishonest, greedy? Do you lack integrity and honor? Will you throw your own friends and family aside to keep me happy? Do you care more about me than your own country? If you answer yes to all of these, there's a job waiting for you right inside this orifice.
Goddamn right. What you're about to hear could be disturbing.
Suck my fat one, you cheap dime store hood.
You're a nasty person.
We're a nation that speaks English.
Back and look, if something like that thing's so ugly.
Tariff.
You're an idiot.
Drop your pants.
I don't want to talk about this stuff.
Am I wrong?
Yes.
Tick-tock.
You're in a lot of trouble, Donnie.
I think he's crazy.
I'm Chip Franklin.